Hey Michael. Well, this is the entry for your 500 subscribers contest, which is already, I think you're almost at 800 subscribers since you started the contest, so congratulations, sincerely. You got a channel that I've been lurking for quite some time, and you tackle music that I'm often pretty much into. And it's always interesting to hear the perspectives from the American paradigm of avant-garde experimental music, and I've been meaning to check your own music for quite some time. Yeah, Davis and a few others have been on me about that. Anyways, so a contest, a few questions, right? So an album that like a nice surprise, an album you picked randomly without knowing anything about it, not listening to it. Rob Walmart, that's what we're listening to right now. This is such a weird album. The title is so long this is just so weirdo. I got it for nothing. Look at this. Oprah. I think this is related to Jackie O Motherfucker. I learned from later. It's a triple album of just weirdness like that. Absolutely charming. And yeah, I think no one cared about it, but it's a stunner. There's tons of really good stuff, including something that is very difficult to do in music, which is humor without irony. Two polar opposites, like the widest range in your music collection. So I thought there were so many ways to answer that one. I got quite a few records, and I think I listened to pretty much about anything, any styles of music. So I thought, like, let's try to think a little bit about it. So first I thought, well, this, the wind harp, sung from the hill, music not made by man but by the wind, with a lot of help from the man, but music from nature, opposed to Le Robot de Paul Boisselet, avant-garde experimental music from the early 60s in France. And this is robot music, as you can see. This is a gorgeous album. Came out on SFP. Really cool label. So nature, robots. Another way to look at it. The human voice, Joan LaBarbera. Voice is the original instrument. With Barry Truax, Canadian composer, inventor of granular synthesis, the most electronic music of electronic music. This is really cool. On Cambridge Street Records. And then I thought music that comes really from the human mind. Well, Alvin Lucier, music for solo performer, for enormously amplified brainwaves and percussion. So that's brainwave music. I got a few records like that. And as opposed to Le solfège de l'objet sonore, Pierre Schaeffer, the inventor of musique concrète. This is basically a triple LP with a book explaining the philosophy behind musique concrète, which is making compositions, not necessarily music, but out of sounds coming solely from non-musical instruments. And the solfège is music writing. So basically, he's rationalizing sounds in terms of colors, of range, of. It's a bit of a mumbo jumbo in a way, but that's a really cool piece of music history, and to show you how far the human mind creativity can go. But on a little less abstract note, this Daniel Mensch split LP with William Fowler Collins, so this is harsh noise, maximal music, maximalist harsh noise, drony. It's pretty beautiful, but it's very compared to Folkway is my favorite label. This box set of man's early musical instruments from contemporary recordings of primitive people, membranophones and idiophones, chordophones, orchestral combinations. That's pretty wild stuff. A guilty pleasure or a record you're ashamed of in a way. You said it yourself, you don't believe in guilty pleasures. And so the question is a bit weird in a way. But I found a way to answer it. There's a band that has a few albums I really like, but I'm not super proud of owning them because of the political ideas behind it. And that is the two albums I got of Death in June. Both of these albums I really love. A lot of his early stuff is good but a bit derivative. This is way more interesting in my opinion. So the problem with it is that this is an Englishman coming from the post-punk scene and into the post-industrial neo-folk scene, and these are more like ambient, drony, avant-garde, weird collage, folk. This one features John Balance actually on some a couple of songs, and it came signed by Douglas Pierce. Yeah, you can't see it, it's silver signed, yeah. Anyways, the guy, Capo, this is an homage to the soldiers of Croatia. And if you know your history, Croatia has a pretty shady military history. They're the country who led the Nazi, they welcomed the Nazi. They're the only country in Europe who welcomed the Nazi when they arrived at their borders. And basically he's been paying homage to the ultra-nationalists of Croatia and this region, and he's finding excuses to that, but like it's, let's be honest, like he enjoys the controversy, or he did at least. So these records are fantastic. They're probably the best of Death in June, but it's Death in June, so it's the one band I always feel I need to explain a little bit when I pull out these records. And the album you listen to the most, well, I've got a few of these. Actually, I got a notebook that I held since I was 14, and records I really love, they enter the list, and then I put just like a little dot every time I listen to them. And I got about 10-12 records that I've been listening a few hundred times. So one of these is Selected Ambient Works Volume 2 from the Aphex Twin. It's I believe it's his first album on Warp under the Aphex Twin name. Came out in '94. It's mostly ambient, kind of reminding of Eric Satie in parts. Also more like electronic ambient, but yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. It's been like a cornerstone of my musical upbringing and aesthetics, and there's some tracks on this that I will never tire of listening to. Oh yeah, I felt I remember another way of two solar opposites, but like the sun and the night. I had some goth, dark, witchy music and some sun music, but that's for another time, sorry. So yeah, the Aphex Twin, and an album that I've been listening to quite a lot recently, the album I've listened to most recently, well, you caught me off guard, so I'll just I just remembered that was one of the questions, so I'll look in, yeah, these,
but time's in our lives. That's why I love you.
Here it is.
The things I took from that summer.
sorry about that.
Stay
Yeah.
with me for the rest of my life.
No, not this one.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing that special moment.
There you go.
And now that we're older, we can look all
I've been listening quite a lot to this record lately. This is underneath here is my
some of the funny
ongoing
things
listening pile. So this is the latest issue of an unreleased Basil Kirschen record. Basil Kirschen is he's kind of. It would be unfair to Moondog to compare him to as a British Moondog. Now that I think of it, he became blind in the latter years of his life, so I didn't think about it that way. It's just that there's lots of joy in his music. It's often orchestral in a very quirky way. He did a lot of library soundtracks for KPM and a few others. Blues Hawks, I believe, yeah. But this is Everyday Madness, a Basil Kirschen tape archive release. Came out from Johnny Trunk, and yeah, I've been listening to it a lot because I feel there's like some secret to uncover in this recording, and I will eventually. And lastly, you asked for the first VC channel that you discovered, and the one I know was the first. I don't remember the name. I couldn't find him anymore. It's a gentleman who speaks about prog rock, electronic music, avant-garde, and trains. He's obsessed with trains, so you'll probably know who I mean if you know his channel. He's an older gentleman who is also a musician, I believe. He's got lots of synthesizers and instruments. And the latest channel you subscribe to, well, it's a channel I've been following for quite some time, actually. I just never happened to click on the subscribe. And it's Alan, the Static Traveler, who I've enjoyed quite a lot for a couple of years now, I believe. Despite, there's always a caveat, despite it being so difficult to hear what he's talking. The man has a gentle voice, and he's always talking like that. So, and he's always looks mischievous. But he's got great musical taste, and he's a great digger, which is pretty fun. But yeah, no, that's the latest one, but the oldest one, sorry, as I can't remember the, the channel. Yeah, the other one, which I need to give credits to, is Classic Jams record collection. Classic Jams is a gentleman from the UK, I believe, who mostly features electro, freestyle, 80s pop, mostly using drum machines and synthesizers, and the guy is an encyclopedia. He references a lot of music that I have and that I know, but when you're a big fan of this kind of music, you're always on the look for the stuff that you missed, and Classic Jam, he is the channel for that. It's a very good channel. So Classic Jams, Alan, the Static Traveler, and again, congratulations to you. I won't Michael, I won't offer you the biggest polar opposite. This will be my upcoming video for someone else, which I'll do in a few minutes, as I'm gonna go have a sauna session. It's minus 14 Celsius degrees right now outside, and the sauna will be 105, so that will be quite a harsh contrast, and then jumping into the sea, which I prepared, like making a hole in the ice so that you can jump in the water, and we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I enjoyed doing this little video to you and to introduce myself to you, as I believe I haven't yet, even if this was pretty chaotic. Hopefully there was a few records that were fun for you, and I hope everyone is well, but especially you today, Michael. Bye.